This is the besotted pride of West London podcast. We're coming to you. The season is back. We're back at New Griffin Park. The game has just finished. Brentford 1, 2, Tottenham 2 as well. I was all over the place. I can't remember the score. And as you can see, it's interesting. There's not much vibe. There's not much atmosphere at the end of the game. If anything, Bees fans seem to be a little bit disappointed because we didn't get the points that we maybe thought that we should have got at the end of this game. I'm just talking to characters. Listen here. At the end of the day, bit of disappointment around the house. I mean, there's no vibe now, is there?
No, I mean, yeah, we 2-0 up and let them back into the game. Shame. Tottenham are the second half team, as the chap was saying on the podcast earlier this week. Yeah, no, I do. I feel a sense of disappointment. What happened when Jensen went off actually did seem we lost a bit of bite in midfield. Jensen was really good in midfield today. Hey ho, but we move on. West Ham, here we come on Friday.
So what happened there then? Like I said to you, the vibe walking out the stadium, I think, reflects what everyone's feeling, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit of that like let down on Boxing Day, I think. The ground was buzzing, like the boys were playing really, really well. The first half was great tempo, really fast. Kane header kind of just blew it away from us. And we did what we usually do. We tried to sit back, let the pressure come on, and felt like it was always coming, and we just really didn't have it there. A little bit of match fitness as well. Sounds silly, players been off for 6 weeks, but Rico I thought was amazing. Just looked really leggy with like 20 left to go, and yeah, it's just a bit flat, but. Bring it on, Cardi Bees!
So talk to me about this game, man. Today, look, the Bees look well and truly in charge, but it looked almost like we kind of run out of steam. And I know that's sort of not a very technical phrase, but at the end of the day, Jensen, brilliant. As soon as he came off, the game switched, didn't it?
It did, basically, yeah. The first half promised a lot. Showed a lot of, a workout between the players and everything like that. Even though we got the second goal, but at that point, we just kind of just the whole cohesion, the glue, the adhesive just separated, and we just won the same team as we did up to leading up to the second goal. So it just kind of broke up from there, and yeah, we just couldn't come back together again. And we started giving them a lot of space as well. A lot of decisions as well weren't going our way, and I don't know who to put that down to. And we stopped being physical as well, so we kind of lost our way in the second half, and that's how the goals came.
Second half, do you think there was a little bit of complacency, not only from the Bees, but also from the fans? Because, we were 2-0 up, we were kind of cruising, the fans were quiet, the team was kind of sitting back, and all of a sudden we got bang, 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 and we got hit with two fairly quick goals.
Absolutely. We just thought 2-0, we're up, the result is ours. Yes, we went quiet as well. We were trying to push the fans, but yeah, we just didn't keep the chin up the boys, and complacency from both sides, yeah. Sorry, we just kind of I don't want to use this, but we kind of crumbled in the second half.
Apple crumble is Christmas crumble, apple crumble. But at the end of the day, if you said a point against Tottenham before this game, you would have taken it all day long.
I would have taken a point all day long, because a lot of the Tottenham players, remember, they're coming back from the World Cup. They've got football in their stride. So they. The teams that didn't go any further in the World Cup, their players have a point to prove as well. Harry Kane has got a point to prove as well for obviously his missed penalty as well. So yeah, a point is good, I would say. Come on, you Bees!
Tottenham fan in the house here, and yes, we're on the way back. And like I said to you, 2-0 up, and Tottenham clawed their way back to 2-2. And they celebrated like they won the cup at New Griffin Park. As a sight that I never thought that I'd see, to be quite honest with you. Tottenham celebrating for the second season running in getting the point at New Griffin Park. You must have been a little bit nervous at a lot of stages during that game.
Oh no, yeah, there were multiple moments. I went into the break thinking, oh shit. And there were a couple moments in the second half. I think Tony had a chance that Foster had to tip over the bar or something. That had me shaking a little bit, but I felt a lot more confident towards the end of the second half.
What, when Brentford ran out of steam?
when Jensen came off, yeah, I was. You seemed to disappear a little bit. Yeah. Where'd you go?
I'm going to ask the question where Tottenham were for the first, for 90% of that game. To be fair, Tottenham, and I'm being respectful, we all be respectful here, but the first half, Tottenham, and I'm not saying, the thing is that you've got to give respect to the team as well. We pressed you hard and you couldn't take our press. You were giving the ball away and you weren't the team that is meant to be challenging for Champions League football.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the problem with Spurs at the moment. We seem to be quite dead in our first half. We come on in the second half and have to claw our way back from wherever we were. We didn't seem to be able to get into the game in the first half. You pressed us so well that we didn't really. I don't think we'd had maybe one or two chances that weren't even like. We didn't stand up. There was no goal opportunities.
And there's no goal opportunity. So I mean, Spurs won in the game. Second half, you got a goal back. Harry Kane. To be fair, it was a very good goal. Great header that he got in the second half, and that seemed to spur you on. I mean, just to coin a phrase.
Yeah, that's the one thing I admire about my team is we are very clinical with our chances. We don't need to take many to score many. I think it was Højbjerg's goal gave us a lot of confidence. We seemed to grow back into the game from then. The momentum was on our side.
And again at that stage, I mean, for Brentford, we made multiple substitutions. We were we were struggling a bit, but we could see we were running out of steam. And I think a lot of Bees fans were looking at the clock at that stage, hoping for the referee to blow up. And then Harry Kane. I mean, to be fair, amazing header that he got that hit the crossbar as well, which could have sealed it for you.
That was I screamed. What could have been. Could have come
and the same thing with the offside goal, which could have made it 3-0 in the first half as well. So the game goes either way.
It does. There were two penalty opportunities as well, back to back almost. It felt like, which had either of those been given, it could have been a very different game.
That's right. But at the end of the day, listen, points spared. To be honest with you, for the Bees, we're very happy for you. Probably doesn't do you a lot of good if you're sort of trying to chase that top 4 space, so is it?
We just got to hope that Newcastle have an absolute rotter in their game this weekend. So, we would have hoped for 3 points, but I'm not disappointed, I'd say.
Bees in the house, and we're talking about the flatness in that game, the flatness, well, overall, after the game. And just trying to work out why it was so flat, because we were 2-0 up against Tottenham and we thought the place would have been bouncing, and it was all right. It wasn't bad, but it's almost like everything, we just didn't spur them on.
Yeah, you're right, Bill. I blame Jensen. It is simple. I think it just comes to that. No, it was an odd one. We were 2-0 up and the place wasn't bouncing. It was like, well, why not? We're beating Tottenham, for God's sake. We'd have dreamed of these days sort of just a few years ago. And then final whistle, everyone left. I was a bit disappointed with that. I think, the team deserved better. They anyway.
You said Jensen. What do you mean? So what about Jensen?
No, I was just joking, mate. I was just...
Oh, you were blaming it on Jensen?
Yeah, it's Jensen's fault.
It's all Jensen's fault, yeah. But to be fair, he had a bloody good game, didn't he?
Yeah, he did, and he got a good round of applause when he came off the pitch. He appreciated that, you could see as well. So we were sort of controlling the game, but not. We'd gone 2-0 up, and like I say, Tottenham weren't really in it, and then all of a sudden, you knew it. They could always have football's football. They could always come back into the game. And when he did get the goal, that's exactly what they did. And we were actually hanging on at the end there. They hit the woodwork. Raya made a couple of good saves. I still can't put my finger on it. The atmosphere was dead. We went down the end and created a few chances. But, I don't know. Boxing Day, I don't know, maybe.
You're not happy with Boxing Day football, no?
No, I don't like the early kick-offs, that's for sure as well. I think that might have played a part. Things never get buzzing with an early kick-off. It's a complete opposite, the night under lights. Never seems to work.
All Bees in the house, and just talking about that game, and I don't know, is it disappointment or, I mean, it's always going to be disappointing if you're 2-0 up.
Yeah.
But you've got to look at the quality on Tottenham and the fact that we kind of, once we started our substitutions, we were on a shoestring, weren't we?
Yeah, we were a little bit. It was a strange game in a way. Brentford fast out the blocks. Tottenham still, kind of in pre-season or mid-season break mode. A couple of players, from the World Cup didn't really look up for it and all the rest of it. And Brentford were just like bang, bang, bang. And it was great, to really put them under pressure. It felt a little bit like the Arsenal game last season, the first game of the Premier League season, when we absolutely went at them and they couldn't live with it, and they were kicking the ball out of play and they were making basic mistakes and looking really silly. And then, with a disallowed goal, it could have been 3-0. We could have been outside and, we were, about to light a cigar and, really celebrating it. And then, Tottenham came back. And in the end, we're obviously clinging on. And, the substitutions, the observations from me were that, Saman Ghoddos unfortunately came on, not to single one out, but came on, didn't really do much. And most of Tottenham's attacks seemed to come from crosses where they were making their way down our right-hand side and doubling up on kind of Roslev, and Perisic was very, very good, I have to say, and there's an example of a player who did play, most of the World Cup, and he came back and played really well today. I was really impressed with Kane. I thought some of the banter was, quite funny from the crowd. Oh, a little bit of, Ivan Tony would have scored there, and, all the rest of it.
What else?
There was some stuff. People don't know. It was, some of it was funny, some of it was not funny. Let's put it that way. Taking the piss out of his speech and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, it's all part of the fun. It's all part of the fun. So end of the day, to go back to your original point, disappointed because we were 2-0 up and nearly 3-0 up and coasting. But look, we always say it when we play against the big teams and don't quite get the result, or we do get the result, which is little old Brentford drawing with Tottenham, and we're all in the boozer a bit disappointed. That just says how far we've come and how amazing the ride is that we're on. And the team that we do have is very, very strong, but the maybe the strength in depth, the kind of the subs that we're bringing off the bench, that's possibly, hopefully, where we're going to strengthen. We don't have tradition of strengthening the January transfer window, but I think with the Tony thing possibly coming, we probably need a few more reinforcements in addition to that as well.
Got more Tottenham in the house here today, and it's nice to see you happy and celebrating. Getting a point against the mighty bees.
The mighty bees.
I tell you something, I bet you weren't celebrating at half time, were you?
No, you definitely had a bank holiday hangover today, definitely, for sure.
And and what was it? I know a lot of people are saying about injuries, World Cup, lots of time played, but you played a pretty strong side. You had pretty much a full team, bar Lloris out there today, and it seemed that the Brentford press had you a little bit on the back burner.
Yeah, definitely. I think our game was really slow today. You guys were pressing us really hard. We found it even really hard to even pass the ball in the first half, and even Kulusevski was struggling today. So, no, I reckon we just came out the traps really slow, as it's Boxing Day.
And Boxing Day, you came out the traps. Brentford came, they were fast out the traps. The fans, I thought, were a little bit kind of. We didn't come out the traps at all today. I don't know for you, but the atmosphere is a little bit mellow.
Yeah, I was standing in the Brentford stand anyway, and I must say it was quite muted. I was expecting to be a lot louder from the start, and it's only got kicked off about halfway through the first half.
And the Tottenham fans, they didn't have much to sing about, did they?
No, we were very quiet until midway through the second half, obviously on Kane's goal. Everyone woke up.
And the match that you play, Tottenham fans talk a lot about, second half being a second half team, and of course you did come back into the second half, and to be fair, you could have actually got 3 points. You hit the crossbar quite late in the game. Rhea made a very, very good save. What is it about Tottenham and their a game of two halves?
I don't know. I just think, like, compared to say last season, we are just really slow. We can't seem to pull a game together until we go behind. So this is just completely indicative the whole of our season, really, even at home. So I think it's a real problem for us, and we're going to have to get over it quickly.
2 points, and I'm not saying this in a disrespectful way, but 2 points lost at home against Brentford. Away, well, for you is away to Brentford, and you're obviously looking at Champions League places. Do you think that is 2 points or lost in your book, almost 3 points lost, or do you think it's a point gain?
No, I think Brentford are a decent team. I think they're firmly set in the Premiership now. They're not a lucky side anymore, so I think it's a fair result.
Bees chaps in the house, and a bit of reflection. We're sitting here in the pub here. Newcastle are steaming their way towards the Champions League at the moment, and we thought it was a bit of a joke when we went up to Newcastle and they were beating us 5-0 or 5-1 or whatever they beat us. They put 5 goals, and they were going, we're going to the Champions League. We're like going, yeah, right, okay, whatever. But to be fair, 3 months later, they are absolutely and totally probably delighted with Brentford taking 2 points at Tottenham today. Probably more delighted than we were at dropping 2 points today, weren't they?
Yeah, it feels still like 2 points drop. Maybe in an hour or so I feel different. I think overall it's a good point. I think most of us before the game said we'd take a draw, but when you're 2-0 up you expect hope to do better. But Spurs are a good team. They've got some great players going forward, particularly not quite so good at the back. And the first hour we were superb. Norgard was off this planet. The guy was immense. Rico was immense, and we were properly up for it. But you're never going to keep a team like Spurs down for 90. And good goal. Kane's header, really good header. Good goal. And the momentum changed there. And Matty Jensen got his yellow, which probably led to the substitution, and the momentum changed completely. Godos chased around like an eager young puppy who never quite gets to the ball. And we're on the back foot from then onwards, and towards the end you're probably blowing for the whistle rather than wanting an extra 10 added on for us to score the goal. Overall, Boxing Day, you take a point, don't you?
And I mean, we've talked a lot about Jensen having a really good game today, but being taken off. But we haven't really mentioned actually on this podcast so far Norgard, who also is a player who you tell that we've really missed. It's the first sort of main game, one of the first main games that he's been back. And you realise what an influential player he is. And again, when he goes off, it's a massive hole in the side.
Yeah, Norgard was fantastic from minute one. And yeah, you're right, as soon as he goes off, we change as a team. But I thought, yeah, him and Jensen together were superb. I mean, I know why he took Jensen off, because he just got a yellow. And so, did another little niggly foul. And you could see that had to sort of protect him, make sure he didn't get sent off, and just took him off. But that and Norgard going off did change us quite a lot. But we were superb throughout the team, as Dutch just said. Rico was superb. I think probably not Me's best game for us, but other than that, we were superb throughout. First hour, brilliant. You could ask for any more. But yeah, Tottenham got a lot of class there. I think Perisic started to take over. Rosnov was struggling when he didn't have, the support that he was getting before, because as Dutch said, that the Godos wasn't quite protecting him as much as he should have done. But really, really good performance. We dropped 2 points, but we still don't feel too bad about that, because Tottenham are a classy side, lots of good players, and we played well. It bodes well for the future. It bodes well for the next game.
Bodes well. So listen, finishing up here, like I said to you, we're in the Boozer, we're in the Globe, and we got a point. I'm being positive.
Yeah, I think you have to be, really. I mean, both teams were a bit rusty. We're obviously going to be a bit disappointed because we were 2 goals up. But equally, we were always going to have to make subs. The energy, the pressing that we did in the middle from Norgard, Jensen, and German Jenelt, the other J, was going to take its toll. We were going to have to make subs, and the subs that they did disrupt us. It was just Harry Kane's goal. He took that brilliantly. That was a big stomach punch, I thought. But overall, a draw is probably a fair result. We don't want to be fair, because you want to take the 3 points, and it was just there. I think it would have made a brilliant Christmas for the old Free From Desire to have been blaring out, and us bouncing around New Griffin Park. I think that was the Boxing Day we all wanted. We didn't quite get it. We didn't lose. We could have lost that at the end. So yeah, I'm grateful that we got a point on the board, but yeah, a little bit disappointed still.
Disappointed. Bees in the house. We've got West Ham on Friday at the West Ham Stadium as well, so we're looking forward to that. But like I said to you, we've got 1 point against Tottenham. Listen, the fact that Bees fans are disappointed that they've got a point against Tottenham shows how far that we come. This is the Besotted Pride of West London podcast. Don't forget to buy us a beer, besotted.com/beer. Don't forget to subscribe on all good podcast channels. And like I said to you, write us a review on iTunes and all these other places, and they're all good. Like I said to you, we're going to be back on Wednesday. We might actually even go down the pub again and record the podcast, because we really enjoyed being down the pub this week, didn't we? It was good fun down the pub, so we might go down the pub again. We won't record the West Ham podcast, but check that out. That should be live on Thursday morning. First things, fingers crossed. It is still festive time, so things go left and things go right. But other than that, like I said to you, I've enjoyed myself. It's been Boxing Day. We've been down there. The Globe is still busy here. And we're going to say, as we say, come on,